Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week wisdom and legacy building podcast. This is day 574 of our trek, and we are hiking a series of trails called The Tools in Gramps Backpack. Each Monday, for a total of 20 weeks, we will explore a different tool that is needed to motivate and equip parents and grandparents to train their children and grandchildren to be successful on their trek of life. If you don't have any children or grandchildren of your own, use these tools to train others that you do influence. Today is the 13th tool in Gramps' Backpack, which is humility. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. The renovations in the downstairs bathroom are now complete, and we are very pleased with the results. It provides a shower and an extra cabinet for Paula's mom, so that it will make it more convenient for all of us. We are seeing a trend where many more households are becoming multi-generational, either out of need or convenience. As we see this blending, it is important for us to realize and take advantage of the situation to teach our children and grandchildren the important character traits that we all should incorporate into our lives. One of those traits, or as I refer to as tools, is humility. As parents and grandparents, we need to be humble and show humility in all of our interactions. We need to demonstrate and teach our children, grandchildren, and others that we mentor what a truly humble person is like. It is very difficult to be humble in all situations, and it takes great wisdom to practice it continually. So the tool that we'll explore today is humility. We need to learn that humility is something that we choose to put on each morning, in the same manner as we get dressed each day. Most of us have the discernment to dress appropriately for each day. Let one of those character garments be that of humility. The Apostle Peter, in his first letter, chapter 5, verse 5, explains it to us this way. In the same way, you who are younger must accept the authority of the elders. And all of you, dress yourself in humility as you relate one to another. For God oppresses the proud, but gives grace to the humble. As fallible human beings, we have much to be humble about. Why then is humility such a difficult trait for us to master? Precisely because we are fallible human beings. Yet if we grow and mature as Christians, we must strive to give credit where credit is due, starting of course with God and His beloved Son. As Christians, we have been reborn and refashioned and saved by Jesus Christ, and that salvation came not because of our good works, but because of God's grace. It is foolish to think that we are self-made, because in reality we are God-made and Christ-saved. How then can we be boastful? The answer, of course, is that if we are honest with ourselves and with God, we simply can't be boastful. We must instead be eternally grateful and exceedingly humble. Humility is not easy for anyone. All too often we are tempted to swell up with pride, even if it's behind a facade of humility. God does expect us to work hard, be diligent and wise, but we have to realize that all that we are, or ever hope to be, we owe it to a loving God. Peter continues his teaching from the verse above in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6 and 7. So humble yourself under the mighty power of God, and at the right time He will lift you up with honor. Give all your worries and cares to God, for He cares for you. Throughout nature and in humans, God uses what is broken to bring glory to His name. Broken clouds let down the rain on soil that must be broken before planting. The broken grain to produce bread, which must be broken to provide us with nourishment. He also wants our stubbornness to be broken in humble obedience to grow His kingdom. Since we are God's image bearers, I am all for having a strong and balanced self-image. But as C.S. Lewis put it, humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself less. As parents, grandparents, and mentors to others, one of the great character traits that we can display is a life of humility. James, the half-brother of Jesus, sums up well what our view of humility should be in his letter, James chapter 4, verses 7 through 10. He says, So humble yourself before God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come close to God, and he will come close to you. Wash your hands, you sinners. Purify your hearts, for your loyalty is divided between God and the world. Let there be tears for what you have done. Let there be sorrow and deep grief. Let there be sadness instead of laughter, and gloom instead of joy. Humble yourself before the Lord, and He will lift you up in honor. A person who displays a proud demeanor many times is a person who lacks confidence in themselves. We can and should have confident faith in God to provide all of our needs. And with this thought in mind, we will conclude our trek for today and close Gramps' Backpack. But before I do, I will pass this tool of humility on to you. Once you have this tool in your backpack, it is up to you to daily put on this garment of humility for others to see and experience. As you humbly teach your children, grandchildren, and others the character trait of humility, you can be confident in your faith and still live a life of humility. Don't be too proud to pass humility on to others through your word and your actions. Next Monday, we will investigate the 14th tool in Gramps' backpack, which is optimism. On tomorrow's trek, though, we will explore another wisdom quote. This 3-minute wisdom supplement will assist you in becoming healthy, wealthy, and wise each day. And thank you so much for joining me on this trek of life. And encourage your friends and family to join us and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks or read their associated journals, they are available at wisdom-trek.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes or Google Play so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, let to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.